Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. I got to say, that intro song is really beginning to grow on me. I've been vibing before we get started, but I'm so excited to be back with you all this week. We're gonna have a great show. I'm Tommy. You also know me as Snorlax. I'm joined by Jackus, Prometheus, Louis, and of course, welcome back to Max as well. Glad to hear that everything is going well, but I will let you, I'll let you talk about it. I don't want to steal any of your thunder today. I will, however, talk about the market because, you know, there is quite a lot going on as we open this week. Markets gapping up. I mean, really kind of equities catching up to that move that crypto put in was it Friday? I think it was, and over the weekend, right? Bitcoin maybe pulling back a little bit, but as we've seen, altcoins are taking a little bit more of the reins here. We're going to talk about all of that and then some. But before we can get started, guys, I'm going to need you to hit the like button today for multiple reasons. Not just because the market is green, but also because Max is back. We have a lot of reasons, I think, to run up the like button today. So if you don't, I'm going to be personally offended, personally impacted, and hurt. And of course, I don't want to have to look at soybeans on a day where you have, I mean, kind of like euphoric conditions in markets, right? So hit that like button, guys. We're going to have a great show for you. Nevertheless, just kind of talking about some general things in the market. Obviously, we got, I don't know if I would quite call it resolution, right, with the Chinese trade deal, but we are getting more clarity at the very least. Seemingly a return to the rhetoric that existed pre-tariffs, right? I think you can always argue whether or not the sell-off was caused by tariffs, whether or not it was bound to happen anyway. But at the end of the day, all that matters is what the market's opinion of of what the drivers of price are. And the Qs, the S&P, they are responding in kind today, right? Both up almost 3% on the day, like I said. Risk as well in crypto is absolutely sending. I mean, altcoins are having a great start to the week. We'll see what we get. Obviously, you know, around these price levels, Bitcoin is trading near all-time highs, hitting some levels of supply. I kind of think it makes sense for Bitcoin to maybe chop for a little bit and give alts the reins here, but we'll see. We'll talk about what that's going to look like, what altcoins, you know, could be looking good up, what altcoins could be looking down. At the end of the day, though, guys, excited for today's show. Max, welcome back. How are we doing, guys? What are we seeing in the markets?
Yes, guys, I'm back. I'm back in a big way. I might be down one nut, but I'm back, baby. I'm back and better than ever. But yeah, big thank you to the team for picking up my slack while I was gone. It's definitely a tough couple weeks, but I love it. I love a little challenge. I love a little adversity because when you get through that adversity, the feeling is just amazing, right? So definitely not something that I had on my bingo card for this year, but I'm back, baby. And it was great because I'm sitting at home recovering from surgery and the market's just ripping face. It was like just like a dopamine rush, which, man, I needed that. I needed to see Pepe just ripping face, man. So it was awesome to see that. But yeah, guys, also some good news. I know I put out a tweet about this. But basically I had like a lump or a tumor, whatever you want to call it, on my left fella. And there was basically like a 95% chance or greater that it was cancer. And we just got the results back and it wasn't cancer. It was benign. So I'm good to go. Like the best possible outcome was exactly what I got. So thank you guys for the support. Thank you for the messages, the advice, the experience, the prayers, everything. So, oh man, it's time to just like rip face this summer. You know, this is like the bottom is in across the board on everything, and we're ready to go. Yeah, we're ready to go. So I'm back. I'm probably gonna be doing like some half days. I'm just like exhausted. Walking up the steps to my office this morning, even like driving to my office, I was just exhausted because I haven't really been moving too much. So I'll probably be doing some like modified days for the next week or so, but I'm ready to get back on the I'm ready to get back on the proverbial horse. You know, I'm ready to be back. Try to get back to normal. So But yeah, I did sacrifice my left nut for you guys and for this pump. So you all owe this exclusively to me. Okay. Everyone's talking about, Trump did this with the markets and the tariffs got walked back. Nope. Max sacrificed his left nut. Let's just be super clear about what the catalyst was for this pump. Okay. Anybody who tells you otherwise doesn't know what they're talking about. But here, like, I don't know. Look, it's a Monday. We had a lot of weekend volatility in a very, very bullish way. I think this is probably not the place to get shaken out. I could see little pullbacks across the board, like it wouldn't surprise me. But I really think it's probably time to accelerate for the second half of this month. So we'll see if they make us wait too much longer. But we're looking at Tether dominance here. It looks very heavy. I think you're kind of sitting at your last line of support right here. Obviously Tether dominance down, crypto up, but we're just sitting at like our 6-month rolling VWAP right now. Kind of our last line, right? I could see a little bit of scammery, a little pop up here, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday or something like that. But no, I think this is kind of a Cheeto. And I think once you lose this 6-month rolling VWAP, it's going to escalate pretty quickly. Like, look what happens over here. Little chop at the 6-month and the yearly acceleration. Over here, you lose the 6-month and the yearly, you start to accelerate. I think this is going to be probably the next leg up for crypto. Whether we end up, and by the way, someone's typing. Someone needs to turn on their like mute background noise on their StreamYard. But like, I guess it wouldn't surprise me to see like this, and then we just start ripping, which obviously Tether dominance nukes, crypto rips. I think everybody probably understands that at this point, but I think the acceleration should be very, very imminent. Personally, like I think it's about time. Maybe looking at something like, we could take a look at Bitcoin, right? I think Bitcoin generally is going to be the driver of this market. There's not a whole lot standing between us and much higher prices. Like, I recognize that this was a pretty, quick, maybe inefficient move, depending on how you want to look at it. It happened quickly. I think if you did end up, taking all these lows or maybe venturing back down into, somewhere into here, which is kind of a big region, I think that's probably your shove spot. I don't even know if you get it, right? We might end up just doing something like this where you just don't even take out the lows. That tends to happen when the market's like really, really strong, is like you don't even take out the lows. Like, the traders kind of end up getting like blue balled the whole time, where you just don't get the perfect sweep and you just keep getting these like aggressive like 30-minute shakeouts that just get sucked right back up and then you launch. So look, I think if you come back close to 100K, if you're lucky enough to get that opportunity, you probably bid that. I don't know if you're going to get it or not. I guess I just don't really care. Like, I just recognize that like structurally, like we are very much so in like a solid uptrend. I don't think you're going to get too much. Like, I don't think you're going to get some crazy deep like shakeout. I don't. I could see a little lower, but generally just expecting higher. I was talking this morning with our Discord about it. I mean, ETH's structural reclaim from the lows here. Look at this trend line. It was so significant for us. Like, low, low, low. Tried to hold here, lost it here. I think if you did get like a few 100-point drop, which again, I don't know if you do or you don't, I'm kind of in the camp of just like, I'm super long and I'm just holding my bags through any like local perps trader death. I think if you did get like 2250 to maybe 2200, I feel like that's probably about where your expectations should be, if I'm being honest. I'm not thinking you come back down below this gray trend right here. I think bottom is in. I think if you were scooping down here, very, very low probability, barring some like trade war escalation, which doesn't seem to be super likely. It seems like it's trending in the right direction, meaning de-escalation. I think you just take your shallow pullbacks. I think that's the mode that we're in, is like lower your expectations on drops, play it like we're about to rip higher. A lot of altcoins looking perky. But yeah, if you get a couple 100-point drop on ETH, like probably short-lived, gets sucked up pretty quickly. And I'm expecting like 2,800 to 3K soon, like this month, truthfully. So I won't monologue the entire show. I know I've been gone for a while, but yeah, those are just kind of my initial thoughts. Is like things look really promising. Truthfully, I think that look. I mean, it looks really good. It looks really good to me.
I feel like
Yeah,
I was just gonna say, I mean, I feel like this move, both structurally and behaviorally, I feel like I have seen a lot of like mental parallels with how we came off of the lows in summer 2021, where you kind of had like that lockout move off the low that caught a lot of people off guard. And because of that, you're probably going to see downside on majors. I mean, a lot harder to come by. Altcoins, you know, different. I think you'll see a lot of capital rotation among them. So it's still going to be kind of a market of haves and have-nots. But as long as Bitcoin is slow grinding up, we probably see altcoins, I think, take the reins from here. And I think more leverage probably needs to build up on something like Bitcoin before we're talking about a larger pullback. Not to say that I think it's going to just smash through these highs. I tend to think it's going to be grinding and crabbing for a bit. But I think if you are looking for a bigger pullback, like realistically, you have to think about it from the minds of people who are probably still short on Bitcoin from, you know, at some point during that breakout, people probably shorted that swing fail of the highs around 100K. So if they get out, I mean, they're going to want to get out at break even if we see 100K. So you get 100K by chance, you probably get a bounce there. I don't know. I mean, it's just like, I think when you have so many shorts underwater on something like Bitcoin, it's generally a little bit harder to see something like this just kind of round trip in quick fashion, unless you had like a catalyst akin to equities nuking. But it's difficult to kind of, I mean, maybe we get, I don't know. I just think it makes more sense for Bitcoin to chop here, give altcoins the reins, maybe ETH pumps again. But yeah, I kind of think we're at the phase where altcoins are going to be, you know, moving soon.
I love me a bullish Tommy. There's nothing better than on a Monday morning having a coffee, a Zin, and a bullish Tommy just to start the week off. You know, there's nothing better.
Oh, I just remember when we came off the summer lows in 2021 after Bitcoin had done that first move. I think it was up to like mid 40s. It ranged and vertically, you know, it chopped up for a good like month. And then when it gave that first like lower time frame pullback, right after that happened was when you had the huge L1 narrative start to take shape.
Are you talking? Where are you talking about exactly, Tommy? Are you talking
summer
like
2021.
here?
Summer 2021.
So is this thing you're talking about?
Yeah. I mean, once we hit like 45K, we just kind of grinded up and the market rotated into things like altcoins, specifically Solana, AVAX, Luna, etc.
Yeah, and this is actually like really when alt season happened was like this move from altcoins was huge, right? You can see that Bitcoin obviously launched off of these lows. And at that same time, like that was when Sol went up like 10 or 15x or something. Like others' dominance went straight up right here. Actually, let me just pull up Sol. That's a really good example, actually. I mean, look at the move that Sol did when Bitcoin ripped off those summer lows. Bitcoin goes up, you know, 150% from that same level. Sol went up 10x, you know, in a short period of time. So that'd be sweet, right? That'd be so much fun.
Yep. I mean, that's when all it's like to run. You know, Bitcoin puts in, you know, major correction, major pullback, starts to rally. Then you start to see that real, you know, profit rotation into altcoins. Right? And I was actually talking about it on the Discord this morning, where, if things remain the way they are now, we could start to see scenarios where Bitcoin does pull back or does start to consolidate, and maybe you get that initial knee-jerk reaction off alts following. But, we could see scenarios where Bitcoin begins to pull back, consolidate, and then alts really start to run even harder, right? Where more or less the last year and a half, it's been alts are strictly following Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin goes up, alts go up, Bitcoin pulls back, alts pull back. But if we are going to, continue this rally, and we do see that, the real, altcoin and crypto bull run that we've been waiting on, you will see environments where Bitcoin can pull back, consolidate, and alts will continue to run, right, and make new highs. And that would be a healthy crypto market, right? So that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. Soul Summer, baby, but Pepe instead.
What a move, man. What a move.
Prometheus and Jackus, what's up, guys?
What's going on? Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, by the way. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I for sure did. Yeah, busy weekend. So, nothing's better than being able to step away from the charts and not having to worry about price absolutely collapsing. There's nothing more beautiful than that. And I'm excited for the summer too, guys. It's been a long time since we've had a bullish summer. So I am very, very much looking forward to the summer. A lot of these charts are looking pretty rippy. On top of kind of what Louis was talking about, if we go over to the total 2 and total 3 chart, or you could look at others' dominance, those charts are looking primed for higher. What are we talking about? If you go out, on the weekly, RSI on total 3, it's curling back up. We broke that resistance level at roughly 850 bill. Looks like we're just, going to start meat sticking here soon. And you're going to start to see that, beta act as beta, that mean reversion back to the upside that we've been looking for alts for a little bit of time now. But come on, what Max is showing there, once we get up into that red box or above that 70 level on the RSI, things start to get a little nutty. So I'm looking forward to what the next few months have to offer, man. Yeah, like I said, total 3 is looking really good. Others dominance looking like it's one to curl up here. Ethereum's, great trending move off the lows, and we're coming into a little bit of a resistance here. But other than that, really what we wanted to see off the lows, a trending move, no more of that grindy sideways price action that has just led to sell-off after sell-off on Ethereum. So I'm bullish, man. I'm bullish. That's what I'm seeing. I'm just sitting on my hands. I'm in my conviction plays, and it's time to let the market come to us now.
It does really feel like the wind is at our back in a way that it hasn't been for a long time. I'd be very surprised if we just reversed from here. It doesn't. I think what Tommy mentioned about the sentiment buildup, the bearish sentiment buildup over the past, this entire year, man, it's been a shit show. 4 months plus of just pessimism, calling tops, cycles over, equities literally nuking. VIX spiked to what, 60 or wherever it topped out at. Horrible, right? I feel like we're seeing kind of an unwind of that sentiment, and that kind of positional breakdown and unwind, where now it feels like the pain trade is going to be, we just keep ripping. People left, they got their teeth kicked in Q1, and they're either forced to buy back in, or they're short and they're just going to continue to get squeezed, and they have a tough decision to make. So I'm very much so interested in just kind of staying long and letting the market show me exactly what it's going to do, because you don't know the magnitude of the move, right? It can happen quickly. We could chop up here for a little bit, but you know, you could literally just start ripping from here and we have like 60, 90, 120 days of like craziness, or you know, we just kind of like establish a new range, the low might be in. You don't really know what's going to happen. I just know that like structurally we've now had like a major shift of structure after 4 months of just down only. Positive news getting sold into, every pop sold off, right? Doesn't matter what it was. 4 months of just structural lower highs and lower lows. And now we've had our first shift of trend. I'm not interested in fading a 4-month shift of structure. I'm not interested in that. I think if we were to reverse in a big way, it's more of a fluke than anything. And I don't like the odds of it, you know, betting on some huge reversal back down from here. I don't think that that makes a lot of sense. I think that's a dangerous game to play. I think the grind up is going to be a lot more likely than some sort of like U-turn from here back down.
Yeah.
Well, I tend to think that the market basically went from like end of the world, you know, big bear market, everything to zero narrative, to basically we are so back narrative in such a quick fashion, which is crazy to see, because like I was taking a notice what the Twitter was recommending me on my timeline in March and, you know, early April. It was absolutely nuts. One of the worst sentiments I've experienced. And suddenly, obviously, everyone told me so. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, I think regardless, you know, that everyone's telling you that we are so back right now, I think we are. I do think that, you know, we will see some of the late guys getting, you know, tested, because there is nothing as easy money in the market. So anyone that's aping in, they will have their, you know, ape being tested basically. But generally, I really don't see reason for new lows, as I've been saying for this entire month, you know, like or basically the past ones, because we are already half in May, which is crazy. But like, there is no reason for the market to head to new lows unless it is over. So the lows should be in. Late guys will be tested, but I generally think we should be moving up, and summer might be one of the best periods. Considering we are closing in on Q2 in 1 month and a half, I tend to think that Q3, Q4, that's Trump stock market again.
So are we still in Biden's stock market?
For now, yes. You know, I still think there is going to be dip, and he will say this is still Biden's market. But then Q3, Q4, Trump stock market.
It's a good cover.
Isn't that the most ironic thing? He comes out and says it's Biden's stock market, and that literally marks the low.
That's a good timing too, yeah.
Chinese equities getting some life put back into them today. I think they look pretty good to start trending again, actually.
Which tickers are
Everything
you looking at?
proceeding exactly as foreseen.
I think Baba and Billy look like a lot of our shit coins, actually.
Billy just reminds me so much of like Solana.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Get that like trending, move higher, setting higher highs, higher lows now. And I mean, it's looking good, at least on Baba. Billy looking a little bit weaker than Baba, but
for now.
This looks pretty rippy to me, honestly.
Could have a catch-up trade. Like Billy could have that catch-up to Baba. Because doesn't it act as beta to Baba?
It does to some degree, obviously. I think it's going to... This is interesting level.
Here's the Billy Baba pair chart.
Ooh.
That looks floored.
Accumulation model.
Reclaims
Back to range
key
highs.
Time to rotate some Baba into Billy.
Glad I held on to those calls because you got Billy reclaiming key structure, and it was just pretty much, waiting on that China news, right? Whatever was going to happen with the tariffs. Obviously, we got some bullish news. China stocks were doing well before all this fiasco. Probably going to continue to do well now, at least in the short term, right? So glad I held on to that. Yeah, Billy's reclaiming some key structure. So,
and I think from a sentiment perspective, I think they kind of wore out their news. The whole China equities getting delisted, all that jargon. I think it's kind of out the window now. It's been made clear that they're coming to works in regards to some form of resolution and deals. So I wouldn't be too worried about if they know they can't delist the stocks. If they delist the stocks, you're going to see a huge scare from foreign investment.
They could delist them, but yeah, they
could,
but
China stocks have been my big bet ever since the first pump that we saw in September 24. That's when literally everyone gave up on them. That was the first impulse from the Chinese government too, saying they going to keep injecting liquidity into it and basically set good environment for them. And I love it when you have a good TA that you see ahead and then it lines up with fundamentals. I think Chinese stocks really are at post 1929 type of psychology and levels. I think all of these are primed to go for a multi-year bull market, multi-decade bull market, even I would say.
Dude, look at the Mag 7 chart real quick. Like, what if this just V recovers to new highs? That's a crazy looking chart.
I think it's probably going to do one of two things from here, just kind of depending on what your view is for high time frame with equities. I think it either is going to gap up basically to all-time highs, and we'll get there in June. I don't expect aggressive price discovery. I would more so be looking for a sweep of the high, but I think that's a scenario. And then, of course, I think there's another scenario, right, where you acknowledge that this is probably euphoria in equity markets, and June OPEX is more than likely a bearish catalyst. But I don't really have a strong opinion at this point either way. I think we'll just we'll feel out what the next 1 to 2 weeks look like.
Yeah, it's just a crazy looking chart. I guess I kind of agree. I don't have that firm of an opinion. I did buy some, as the Discord knows, I bought some YOLO calls down here. Just small size, just because when you dump like this, you got to bet on a V recovery. You have to bet on crime, right? That's the best bet to make in financial markets, is betting on them not being a free market and manipulating it back up. But yeah, it's approaching a really, really big level, right? We'll see what happens when we get up there. So,
well, they're sucking all the air out of the VIX.
I think Wix is going to have a spike. Maybe not tomorrow, but over the next period. What do you think, Tommy?
Yeah, I think I was kind of tweeting about this a little bit over the weekend. I think the issue with the VIX was that all of the headlines got kind of front loaded. So, if you're just trading volatility, it was almost overstimulated. I can't really think of a better word to describe it than that, which is why I don't think any of these negative headlines, while the VIX has been bleeding, have been able to spike it. Eventually, you'll get some sort of mechanical bounce on it. I'm not quite sure what I would expect from that. Like I said, I think June OPEX is probably something to pay attention to just in case. But it's hard for me to see a huge spike on the VIX. Maybe you get mid-20s or even possibly 30 again. But at this point, it looks to me like it's set for, continuously lower grind, more than likely. I guess we'll see. But eventually you will have some sort of mechanical spike. But the structure on it looks a lot less constructive than it did. So I have to assume it's going to be a complacency before this starts to consolidate, and I'm going to quote Dr. Outlook, pit roll again.
Yeah, I mean this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't watch the VIX as closely as you, Tommy. But this, we'll see what happens here. But if this trend line matters at all, it looks pretty brutal. I'll be honest. Like I see this little gap here, but this
It
thing
could
looks
definitely bounce near here. Right. Like I think there is a scenario where equities end up forming some sort of like double bottom or higher low into June. But in either case, I'm kind of expecting crypto to remain pretty strong and altcoins to catch a bit at this point.
yeah. Yeah. I'm just long, man. I'm just long. How do you guys feel about some free terminal giveaways today? My first day back, markets look pretty good. Do we want some free trials of terminal today? Rolling out some updates? Do we think we want that today? I don't know.
I think it's appropriate.
You think it's appropriate?
Yeah, Tucker's not here, so it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, he won't even know.
I like that logic.
I feel like I got a few coupon codes just laying around, some free terminal trials, man. I mean, the best portfolio tracker on the market, super charts with hundreds of indicators, on-chain indicators. I mean, I don't know, man. It kind of feels like the day to throw around a couple free trial coupons. Yeah, look, I mean, Peter, he's already on the free trial. I mean, look at what Peter said. It's really good. I'm enjoying my free trial thus far of the BB. Yeah, I mean, it seems like Peter likes it. Maybe other people would like it. You know what I mean? Why only offer it to Peter when we could offer it to more people? It might be worth it. What if we did this? It's a special day. I'm back. I haven't been here in a couple weeks.
Max, what if we did this?
Welcome to the all-new BB Terminal portfolio. Faster, smarter, and now free for everyone. Signing up is easy. Just use your Google account to get started in seconds. Once you're in, you'll get a clean, aggregated view of all your wallets. Or dive into individual wallets for more control. We support Wallet Connect for seamless syncing. And don't worry, we use industry-standard encryption to keep your data safe and secure. Prefer not to connect your wallet? No problem, just use our manual entry mode. Choose as many tokens as you like. Then plug in your transactions. It's quick and intuitive. Watch your portfolio stats and charts update in real time. Your portfolio refreshes automatically every hour, but you can also sync instantly with just one click. BB Terminal Portfolio, available to everyone for free.
That was a nice commercial. That was a really nice commercial.
Seems bullish.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna throw it up, and then we're gonna talk about some more charts. I'm gonna give you guys two options today. All right, I'm gonna give you two options, and I expect no less than 4 or 5 million signups when I drop these two options. Okay. Someone talk while I'm getting this ready. All right, because it might take me like 30 seconds.
And the chat turned into a silence. Always. You either have like 10 people talking or all of us talking, amongst each other, or you have like none talking. I do not know why that happened.
It's that buildup of anticipation on what Max is cooking in the background for everybody. We're all like, what's coming? What's coming?
Do we look at this China-U.S. tariff news as a local, maybe sell the news, anticipatory event here?
What is it? I haven't even checked.
I think they agreed to pause tariffs, right? Is that correct?
That could be the sell the news events, because that sort of was anticipated from the lows when we discussed that likely a 90-day tariff pause is going to come. We will rally upon that, and then the good news will come. And I think these are the good news that lots of people will interpret as bullish, and they are. But locally, that move has already played out. Like the move based on these news, that is not the one that's going to come on a local term basis. That has already played out. But over the long run, this will matter.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe locally, some cool off, some pause, right? Some consolidation would be totally, plausible and healthy and natural here. People buying on that news likely, maybe they fare well, maybe they don't. You're probably way better off buying in anticipation of this news at the lows or near the lows. So now that we're getting the news and people want to flip bullish now, likely doesn't work out well for market participants in my experience. But do I think it's going to be anything significant? Not really. I think the momentum, like this ball has already gotten rolling, right? And it's picking up speed, picking up momentum. And it's going to be tough to stop this this momentum here across all markets, right? So sure.
Who's out here typing an essay? Who's out here typing the world's longest essay? I need to know who that is.
Not I.
I thought it was you typing something.
No, I'm already done.
Yeah, that was my bad. I think it's picking up audio on my cam. One sec.
You might have a second mic.
So it's those turtle beaches, man. They pick up everything.
All right, guys. Here's the deal. Because I know today's a red day, but we're pumping, so everybody's gonna have a ton of money, and there's no better way to spend your money than supporting guys that you love, a company that you love, guys that help you prosper in markets and show up every day with 2 nuts or 1 nut. It doesn't matter. We're gonna do a little giveaway option here. Okay, we need some progress today. It's my first day back. All right, and this is a great opportunity. There's 2 options here. Okay, I'm giving you 2 options. Okay, for those of you that are interested in trying terminal, okay, which is, by the way, absolutely fantastic. Furthermore, maybe I'll even show you terminal. I'll show you the terminal while you can decide which option you want, guys. There's 2 options here. Code number 1 at checkout, 100K BTC, gets you 30% off for 6 months. That's half a year of discount. Or code number 2, if you're kind of like, that's a big commitment. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't tried it yet. I'm a little concerned it's not the best, even though they say it's the best and they've never lied to me. You could do terminal 30 for 100% off for 30 days, right? So there's 2 absolutely fantastic options right here, guys. Okay. 2 absolutely fantastic options. I think we're going to let's do 5 of each. Okay. There's 5 codes of each. That's it. But there's great options, right, guys? This is your all-in-one. You have the best derivatives data. Anything you want. Anything that you're already using or familiar with, get it from us now, guys. Get it from us. Liquidations, aggregated open interest, CVD, spot, perps, funding, custom indicators, like Hagrid's Super Sniper. Hagrid built this one, right? We got some, like a custom super trend. We added a second one on there, slight modification. Literally anything. I made this one. Statistical volume, right? Shows where buyers are trapped, sellers are trapped, things like that. You got heat maps, right? Beautiful. Whatever you need. Spaghetti charts. And I'm being generous because it's my first day back. No better way to compare what's kicking ass versus what is lagging. Ooh, ETH is actually, look at that. ETH actually kind of coming in hot, right? Like figure out what you want to trade. Where's your money best spent? Well, actually looks like Sol and ETH have been outperforming Bitcoin here. Can add on anything, right? Add on BNB. How about we add on AVAX, right? You can add on anything. And look at this. This is the bread and butter here, man. Look at this. Hundreds of on-chain indicators. This is one of my favorites, by the way. This is one of my favorites here. Is that Bitcoin has never had a cycle top without getting above the terminal price. Every single cycle calls bottoms, calls the top. It's pretty damn awesome. I don't want to go to the portfolio tracking because I got a bunch of my stuff in there. So it's awesome though, but like give that a try. All you do for the portfolio tracking, guys, we spent like 6 months building this thing out. All you do is copy paste your address in, because we were struggling with this. We're like, there's no really great like all-in-one portfolio tracker. You just copy paste your address in and it loads, pulls up all your transactions, like wallet balances, refreshes, everything like that, guys. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. It's got like little pie chart, everything like that. I mean, just like we've taken every tool that we've used cumulatively as a team, right? All the on-chain stuff that we've used, all the derivatives data, heat maps, everything, right? And we put it into one super website. Like you don't need to really go anywhere else. And we're building out a custom DEX too, which by the way is almost done. It's degen right here. So think of like DEX screener or something like that along those lines. But now you're going to have that in here, right? So it's literally like we are building the all-in-one like super website. We're tired of having like 12 tabs open and getting information and data from other people. Let's just build like the best all-in-one Swiss Army knife that has everything you could ever need, your own portfolio, plus everything you need to navigate markets, right? All in one. So it's like, you know what? Try it out. Try it out. Or honestly, even if like you're like, you know what? I like having 12 tabs open. Some people like having 12 tabs open. I don't, but some people do. Just try it out because you like us. Be like, you know what? I'm going to use one of their coupon codes. Max sacrifices left nut for this pump. And I'm going to use one of their coupon codes. Either 30% off for 6 months, which is insane, or 30-day free trial. And if you don't like it, you cancel and it costs you $0. You genuinely can't lose, right? But anyways, it's an absolutely fantastic product. I'm really proud of it. If you can't already tell, I am very, very, very proud of how it's turned out. It's really come together. We've been working on it for well over a year. So, and you got Agger in here, man. It's just fantastic. But anyways, hope you guys use these codes. All right, we're doing 5 of each, either 30% off for 6 months or 100% off for 30 days. Here's the thing though, if you really end up liking it, you're going to save money doing the 30% off for 6 months. That's a pretty epic deal. So anyways, it's awesome. Thanks for listening to my infomercial. Let's get back to it. But you guys should definitely try it out.
We could always do a code that's left nut themed.
Should we do code left nut? That could be a good one.
I like that.
Code Lance.
Does anybody else want to share some charts or anything? Anybody? Nobody, huh?
We're shy today, Max. We're shy.
I don't know what's going on. You guys seem shy. Like, is the market nuking and my trading views lagging? What's going on? I'm giving away coupon codes and talking about charts. No one wants to share. I don't get it.
Let me hop up here.
I'm just sharing a tweet with the codes, just getting it ready. So be sure to retweet that, Max. Just saying.
I will. I'm gonna instant
anyway.
retweet that one.
Yeah.
Well, there's only 3 left of each one now. Oh, 2 left of the 30% off. 3 left of the.
Okay. Can you create a new one then?
Now? All right, meat stick is up on the screen here, guys.
Meat.
You know what's funny
Max,
is like yeah.
The codes no longer work.
No, they do. There's just a limited number of them, so you better tell people to hustle and get them before they're out. I only made 5 available of each.
But you just said that there is only 1 available left.
No. There's 5 total left.
Okay.
You want me to make a few more? I can up it a little bit.
I think we might need to.
How about 10 of each, Jackus? Just for you. Just for the chef.
Okay, let's do.
Okay, give me a second.
Louis, what are we seeing there?
We got Bitcoin on the daily here, guys.
I like the last
I
nut,
mean,
by the way.
is that the one you like to play with? We got Bitcoin on the daily here. I mean, what a move. You know, textbook reclaim the range, price acceptance back in the range, boom. And you could say, technically, if you're looking at the daily chart, we tagged range highs here yesterday, last night, going into this morning. Just beautiful stuff, right? Beautiful stuff you should expect when you're coming in back into a range after losing market structure, price acceptance inside the range, boom, follow through, tag range highs, right? So we have not, tagged the all-time highs just yet. We're coming into that range high structure. You see where the candle bodies kind of stopped. It's all just wicks up here. So price respecting these daily candle bodies currently. This is a spot where you should expect some sort of pullback, right? Just a massive move would be super healthy. Nothing to worry about in my opinion. Seeing a pullback in this area, and I would be watching this, this box here for your pullback, right? You have a massive daily inefficiency in here. You have a mid range, sitting between 96K and 100K. So a pullback after going from range lows to range highs back to the mid range makes perfect sense, right? Would be totally healthy. Wash, your late longers. Wash out the people that are, were waiting for that confirmation news, getting bullish way too late. And this is where I'd be watching a pullback for. Want to see the mid-range hold, fill some of this inefficiency. And I think this is your pullback spot where if you are kind of sitting on the sidelines or you have some exposure, but you're waiting to get more exposure, a pullback that looks like this on Bitcoin coming into this area, I think is your spot, right, to pull the trigger, right? So this box, anywhere from 97.5 to like 100K, right? I think this is a great, spot for Bitcoin to pause, maybe reaccumulate up here in the top half of the range. And then you want to start to see price continue to push higher. That's my base case, right? That's my base case here. But I think we do need some time to cool off, come into here, and then we see what happens. Or if we want to see the upper half of this range hold, doesn't have to, no, right? We could, worst case scenario on a pullback, we could see something like this, right? Right. And then what would we have? We would just have one massive inverse head and shoulders continuation pattern, right? So technically, right, we could come back to range lows. Do I think we're coming back here? No, but it's always a possibility, right? When you start getting these volatile moves and volatility returns to the markets, pullbacks will be deep, will be scary. Most of the time they are super quick. So you have to be, you have your finger on the trigger ready to go. But, this could be a total possible scenario we see. Better off, better case scenario for the pullback. You come into here, we respect the mid-range, hold it up, and then you still can have some sort of, little bit of a lopsided short shoulder, inverse head and shoulders. But we want to see this consolidate, pause. But we want to see continuation from here. So kind of what I'm watching for Bitcoin on the daily, right? Makes sense for a pullback here across the board. And again, you can see Bitcoin start to do this, altcoins start to pull back on that initial move, on that knee-jerk reaction. And then you can see Bitcoin do this, trade sideways, and alts start to rally back and go for their next legs, even before Bitcoin starts to rally back to the upside. So that's what I'm watching. And that's just kind of like my Bitcoin, daily outlook here.
Guys, we just got a monster super chat from Brown Gent, from the Brown Gent. Guys,
what is AED?
That is the United Arab of Emirates dollar, I believe.
Yeah. Wow, man, that was $500, $500 US. Man, thank you so much, bro. That might be the biggest one we've ever gotten on here, man. Thank you that's incredible. Honestly, thank you for the generosity. Thanks for keeping the lights on at BB, man. That's incredible. Thank you so much, man. Seriously.
That might be deserving the the premium function on YouTube or something like we have.
Yeah, it seriously is. It sounds like you're in the Discord. If you don't have like a BB Academy or something, if you haven't bought it and you're in the Discord, send me a DM and we'll get you a free BB Academy if you want to use it. Okay. So thank you so much for that, man. That is a huge tip. So thank you so much for that, man. What an absolute legend. What a legend. That is just, thank you. Overwhelming. What a day to come back, especially to see something like that. You guys are the best. So thank you. Seriously.
I mean, coming off the daily here, now we're looking at the weekly chart. I mean, oof. Does it get more bullish looking than this? Like, goddamn, this looks so bullish. Talked about the daily time frame, talked about the potential pullback scenarios, but looking at the weekly chart, this is our weekly candle we closed last week. Nice meat stick to the upside. It doesn't have to be this week, but I would expect some follow through to the upside after seeing these 2 weekly candles like this, right? Sure, we can get some pause, right? Sure, we can get some pause, pullback, but seeing a weekly candle looking like this, I'd expect follow through at some point, right? But we will, expect pullback first. If it doesn't come, worst case scenario, we keep going higher. But weekly view, I mean, like, this is such a bullish looking chart. Beautiful flip of this level, came in, flipped. You're bullish. And until you lose these levels, you're risk on, right? And Bitcoin likely tries to go for fresh highs, right? So we're right there, right? We're right there. So you can see a little bit of this. Again, that would be like your inverse head and shoulders continuation look, and then see something like this. So I expect to see some follow through off these weekly candles. Doesn't mean it's going to happen today, right? Can take a week or two to play out. But we're at a spot where we could potentially see some pullbacks, but high time frame view, screaming bullish.
Yeah, I agree. And especially if you go on the, if you look at the weekly RSI, I mean, that thing's starting to perk back up. And you look at the weekly on both SOL and ETH, I mean, those things are just coming up off their floors. And the move that I believe that we're going to see out of SOL and ETH is going to catch a lot of people off guard. A lot of people off guard. Yeah, get a little bit of pullback, maybe consolidation here, like Louis was talking about. And then, into the next move up. And I think that's when you really start to see alts do what we've been talking about for quite some time. So
yeah. What's Bitcoin dominance looking like?
Tommy, can you help me remember what the exact quote was from John Brown? Something about the road to 100 or 110K is like cumbersome, but past 110 to 200 or something is like, that's when we fly.
Yeah, once we get past the thicket of 110. And I don't know if that's like immediately when we clear 110 or if that's just if we kind of like, I'm sure we'll know when the time comes. But yeah, he basically said that whenever we get above 110, that will be, we'll just straight shoot to 200, basically.
I'm down for a straight shoot. All right, what do we think about Bitcoin dominance here?
Lower than higher.
Tommy. As long as Bitcoin's at like 130, if that happens, that's okay.
I kind of think that's kind of my expectation at this point, is that Bitcoin goes to like 130 over the next few months, and Bitcoin dominance probably comes into like 50 to 55%. And then I think that 80% level eventually gets hit. It will be studied.
I tend to think that higher from here, right from here, but then lower. And we do not even go that much higher. I would still think like we hit 67, 68% on Bitcoin dominance. And then we go down to like 40, 47, 45. Yeah.
We have a clear channel here, right? So upper end of this channel being respected clearly. Pausing here again. So I'd watch to see, how if we even do get down here on this pullback, you start to lose this channel. I think the move will happen quick to the downside.
The most compelling part about the Bitcoin dominance chart to me right now is that if you look at the last cycle, how you basically popped up, swept that high, and then nuked. I'm not going to say we're doing the same thing right now because it's too early to call that. But if there ever was a time to sweep the wick and then nuke, it's potentially right here. Maybe you could delete your vertical line on the last. Delete that line for me so we can. Yeah, see what I mean? Where you swept the wick, it looked really bullish, and then alt season. I'm not saying it's the same because I don't know. But interesting, nonetheless. Very interesting. It would be pretty cool if we did that again. Because a lot of people, myself included, were pretty convinced that like that initial wick early in 2025 was like the blow off on Bitcoin dominance. Because it kind of looked like a blow off. Then we grind up higher, sweep the wick, kind of similar fashion to what we did last cycle. And now we're kind of rejecting and we're seeing a lot of altcoins showing signs of life. Maybe, just maybe. I'm really interested to see how this plays out. We'll know more for sure. Like we need to lose 60 is what we need. I think if we lose 60, there's a pretty good chance that that's it.
Yeah.
But if we kind of bounce around here where Louis' channel is, give or take, then we probably keep cooking for a bit, and we probably get Tommy's scenario of like higher Bitcoin and higher Bitcoin dominance, which by the way wouldn't be a bad thing. Like you can't be mad about Bitcoin dominance going higher if Bitcoin's chatting, because your altcoins are definitely ripping too. You got to root for the king.
Yeah, structurally and from a sentiment perspective, I'm kind of eyeing BTC dominance similar to how the Dixie was perceived. If we remember, back towards the end of last year, September, a lot of people were calling for the Dixie to really fall off that cliff, break the $100 region, and it just went so much higher than anybody really ever expected, back up to the 110. And I'm viewing BTC dominance in a similar fashion where, it's going to kind of pull everybody into the camp that, we're going, so much higher. And then it's just a very, very swift collapse from the highs.
Yeah. And I kind of think too, with the move that ETH has just put in, we obviously know that Bitcoin dominance is basically inverted ETH BTC. It's not perfect because obviously there's other altcoins, but ETH's performance against Bitcoin plays a huge role in Bitcoin dominance. I think it's very unlikely that Bitcoin dominance puts in a new high from here if ETH BTC is bottomed. And I feel like ETH BTC should be bottomed. It really should be. So if ETH BTC is bottomed, then I think it makes perfect sense to say, hey, Bitcoin dominance probably topped.
I mean, we got the parabola on this weekly candle last week. So
can you invert the chart, Louis? Just flip it real quick. Ooh.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that chart's real, bro. That thing is, someone needs to go to jail for that. That is crazy.
ETH BTC is going to hit that sweet spot where it keeps rallying, but I still win this stake bet with Max.
No. I'll let you out right now for salmon with au gratin potatoes. Up to you. And some Pinot Noir, too. I'm going to get the wine, Tommy. I need the wine. I'll let you out right now because we're friends. Okay. And I'm feeling generous today. But you have to let me know by end of day.
What was the level again? 0.6?
Let me check my ETH BTC chart. I have it saved just because there's no way we'd ever remember, but I have it saved.
Bet
Max
stop.
and Tommy bet. Let me just change the number quick so I can win. And then
I thought it was 0.06, if I remember right.
let's see. I'm going to Tommy the chart. This is what I have saved right here. ETH BTC above 0.06 by end of September, and Tommy buys Max's steak dinner. And by the way, just for the audience that were not here when we made this bet, it's not just steak. Okay, it's steak, it's sides, it's drinks, it's dessert, it's the Uber ride to the restaurant to and from. Okay, it's the whole thing, right? It's the experience. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna get some A5 Wagyu, probably a $600 bottle of wine, maybe like lava cake for dessert. It's gonna be great. And all I need is a straight up V recovery into September. I'm not gonna lie. I think we made the bet around like 0.03. I think
I want to say we did.
it was maybe somewhere around here. And I was like, oh, dude, it'll 2x by September. And then this. But you're saying there's a chance.
September is a long way away. I've kept saying that. I feel pretty safe right now, but September is a long way away.
It is. We have a lot of time. I've got the line drawn right here. By end of September. So basically, this is just drawn on October 1st. So I just need this purple line. I just need a wick, a sweep of these highs by the red line. A lot of work needs to be done, I'll be honest. That's a very, very tall mountain to climb. But I mean, it's a lot of time. We got time.
I'm gonna need Matt's comment pulled up on the screen too, real quick, while we're on the topic of bets.
You're gonna need what?
Matthew Kim's comment pulled up on the screen. We're gonna have to throw that one up there. Yep.
Dude. Okay, this is. I literally feel bad that I'm taking money from Prometheus on this one. Like I'm gonna enjoy taking Tommy's stake money on this one. Prometheus
Wait, what was the
literally
Doge bet?
Prometheus just shot himself in the head on this one. You know that meme where it's like, it's that comedian and he turns around and shoots the guy in the chair and he's like, how could he do this to me or whatever?
Eric Andre?
Yes, Eric Andre. That's Prometheus with this,
What was the Doge bet?
Prometheus said Doge wouldn't make a new all-time high this cycle. Wasn't that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a game of golf on the line, so
which is crazy, bro. It's like we're straight.
It's almost as expensive as the dinner.
Prometheus.
Well,
I'm
it depends
I'm
what
not
you
even
order.
trying to be a dick, bro. How do you look at this chart and think that this is not blasting off, man? Like, okay. First of all, looks really good here. Second of all, if you're bullish Bitcoin, are you telling me that this is a bearish chart, brother? The Doge BTC? Like this is this goes back to 2014, man. This is one of the only altcoin charts in existence that's actually outperformed Bitcoin for a decade.
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty nuts. But I mean, just from a saturation standpoint, I just don't see how you get more mind share than what we got last cycle. I mean, dude, people's grandparents were buying Doge. Like people had no business being in crypto. Like you had Susie Liu, on her Coinbase account. Son, how do I get this Doge?
Yeah, Susie Liu's gonna outperform you, bro. That's crazy.
But you also got to think,
crazy.
like, all that supply that got bought up by all those people that's just sitting on those wallets, you just have to look at that as like essentially being burned. Like all that, like 30% of the Doge supply is just burned. because of all the all the supply that's just sitting in wallets that will likely never get touched again. But
Dude, look at Doge Nvidia. Doge has outperformed Nvidia.
Doge
Dude,
Nvidia,
and it's breaking
that's
out right
crazy.
now. Prometheus, you're gonna owe me a round of golf, brother. I don't,
dude. And
All
that's
right,
the
I'll
thing.
let
Like,
you
if
out
I'm
right.
wrong on this
I'll let
bet,
you out.
I'm happy. I'll be happily
I'll-
wrong.
I'll let you out right now for mini golf. Okay. For a
No,
round of
no,
mini
no,
golf.
no, 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 no.
I'm trying to be nice. That's the thing.
Because I
I'm
also
trying to be-
I also am gonna try to beat you in golf, brother. I
All
think
right,
I'm
well,
the
we
only
know
one.
we know that's not happening.
One of the only. I think I'm the only person on the team that could potentially compete.
Are you a good golfer?
I'm a pretty good golfer. I'm not as good as you, but we're getting better. We're working
What's
on the
your
game.
handicap? What's your actual handicap?
I mean, I'm a bogey player. I'll say it right now, but
So
yeah,
you
we're
shoot like
dialing in the game.
you shoot like upper 80s.
Shoot like mid to upper 80s, depending on the day. Best round I've ever had was like at 81. So
Oh, dude, you're not beating me.
I know you're like a scratch golfer, but
There's no chance.
dude, I'm gonna go get a like a PGA Pro and like go get lessons and show up to the course and be like, "What's up,
Dude? I could give you 10 shots. You're not beating me. It'd be fun though. I played with Tucker. Man.
Tucker stepped in.
I played with Tucker, man.
What
Tucker
is
and
he
I played
doing?
golf recently.
Tucker's lurking, guys. Tucker is lurking in the comments right now. No, I know I'm cooked in golf. At least I'll be able to compete, though.
Tucker and I played. We were in Arizona. Tucker and I played, man. By the way, Tucker's an athlete. Dude, he's up there. I've got some videos. He's up there. No practice swings. He's playing in sandals, smoking a cigar the whole time. He gets up there, no stretching, no nothing, cigar blowing everywhere, and just pipes it, He's an athlete. He's a natural born athlete.
John Daly.
He honestly, yeah. Like it's that same kind of energy, Yeah, he's a specimen.
Yeah, we're gonna play at the dinosaur park. We're gonna go see the fossils.
Tommy would probably like that.
Yeah, I would. The
Tommy's
authentic park is what they should call it.
Tommy's a dino boy, man. That's
historic park.
Prehistoric.
All right, Maverick is capping in the comments. Maverick, I destroyed you when we played, bro.
There's look at Max is great with balls. Yeah, there's a lot of jokes that are going to be made about my new situation. Yeah, I won't be golfing for a little bit. Let's put it that way. Dude, you know what the frustrating part about this surgery was? Is that I finally got kind of dialed in on my swing. Like I was really rusty for like a couple months, hadn't played all winter. I go out, play unbelievably. I'm like, I had complete control of the golf ball. And then like 3 days later, this thing happens to me. And now I can't golf for like a month, but I had complete control of my golf swing, man, and I'm like ready for the summer. Weather's getting nice. Boom. Snip, snap, left nut's gone. No golf. Bye-bye.
Hey, on the plus side, you'll have more range of motion now.
Dude, maybe the left nut was holding me back all these years. Maybe that was like the thing. It was throwing off like my center. And now I'm going to be like
more balanced.
Maybe I'll just, you guys, I'm going to come on here one day and be like, guys, I'm shooting like 62 every round. I'm now a professional golfer. I'm retiring from BB, all
You'll
thanks
be able
to
to dunk now, Max.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Without that
maybe I'm like
extra
an
weight.
8-foot rim,
You lost what, like 5 pounds, right?
Oh, more than that. Yeah, more. They were huge, Louis. They're huge. Yeah. Dude, we look so bullish here. I just can't even. I hope people freak out and sell today. I hope that they panic dump. I hope that they do. They don't deserve what comes next, man. We're about to have a lot of fun. Volume Fusion is just bright green, not even close to being bearish. We're looking good. We're looking really good. Did we use up all those coupon codes, guys?
Max, I asked you what the coupons are. You still didn't answer.
Yeah, you can see them up here on the.
Wait, but you said that there are none left. That you're gonna create some new.
Yeah, I made 10 more of each for you, so you can use this. Use these. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Did you send me a message somewhere?
Yeah, on Discord.
I'm sorry, Jack, because I wasn't even looking.
No problem.
Yeah, you can use these. I just made 10 more of each, so 20 codes for you if you want to use this.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'll instant retweet. Trying to move some terminals, man. Like, spent like a year building this thing. It's finally almost done. It's amazing. People are gonna love it. The people that use it think it's great. And you know what the best part about terminal is, guys? It's like if there's a feature that you don't have on terminal, and you're like, I wish that was on there. Just send us a message and we'll work as quickly as we can to get it. It's like built by everyone that follows us collectively, you know? It's like just hit us up and we'll, you know, we got a list of things we got to do. It won't be immediate. We're still building it, but you know, it's like, what are we talking about? Don't get your data from someone else. Get your data from us, okay? It's better from us. Pepe looks like it wants to smash some levels, man. Let's look at Pepe on the volume fusion. This is one of my favorite views of Pepe on the volume fusion right here, guys. I mean, let's do this. Let's look at the risk off to risk on here. Pepe goes risk off on the volume fusion on December 17th, December 16th, December 17th, right here. And then again goes risk on right here. And I've been screaming, buy Andy, buy Wolf, buy Pepe. This is it. Man. There is no second best. Moodang. Someone wants to see something happened with Moodang. Someone messaged me and was like, why is Moodang up like 4 billion% or something? Let's see. Oh my. Oh. Wow.
Damn.
That's in log mode too.
Moodang.
Look at that thing.
Wow.
I'm kind of guessing that it's going to just reverse or something. I don't know.
Man, this was crime. I'm absolutely certain. But
That's what I mean. I'm like looking
that's
at it.
real.
I think
Looks
it's
like
a
an exit.
BNB Cabal coin now. I'm pretty sure.
I think
Wait,
it is.
Is Moodang on Sol? Or what is it on?
Yeah, it's on Sol.
Moodang Sol. No way. There's got to be more price history before that. Moodang Sol. No. Let's try another one. All right. Good enough. Whatever. I mean, this
It
is
looks like a SPAC chart.
honestly dump this and buy some Andy. So I don't know. Like, yeah, jeet that, buy some Andy, man. This is a scam. Wait, what's a Moodang again? Someone
baby
tell me
It
what-
is the pygmy hippo from Thailand.
Oh, that'll stick.
240 million market cap. You're not buying a baby hippo coin?
It's the lasting narrative, bro. You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't understand.
You don't like baby hippo coin at 250. Let me tell you why you should buy my cat coin at 500 mil.
Speaking
You
of
know
hated
what?
rallies, take a look at Whiff.
Speaking of cat coins,
Ooh, yes. Wait.
speaking of gonna move but hasn't moved yet, and also speaking of coins I don't own but probably should.
I genuinely believe this is one of the biggest layups in the market right now.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Max,
don't
could
own-
you overlay Bonk?
You want me to overlay Bonk?
Yes. And if you look at Bonk's price action from the very beginning, I think we're running that back.
This is your pure hyperliquid beta.
I think Hyperliquid's got to give you that first leg of price discovery. And then you're going to see Per get cooking.
So I don't think we're if you go to the right there, and you don't have the full price action on the Per chart, unfortunately, here on TradingView, but I think we're kind of in that basing out period before the next big run up that we had.
Are you talking about here, Prometheus?
Yes, I think we're somewhere right in there.
Because in theory, if this is where Bitcoin, begins to consolidate, pass the baton to market-leading altcoins, I mean, it's again, I'm going to draw a parallel to the summer of 2021. That first tiny Bitcoin pullback on a lower time frame on the way back towards those highs. Then you had Solana just like rip into price discovery. And obviously it was, outsized strength against the market for weeks after that. I feel like hyperliquid structure is fairly similar to a lot of L1s that came off their summer 2021 lows. And yeah, I think once you get hyperliquid into price discovery, you're going to see PER finally start to break out.
Yeah, I don't. What's the market cap of this thing? Is this sub 100 mil?
It's 70, I think, 70, 75.
It's like 100 mil.
Is it 100?
Bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, and two hyperliquids over the past week had its largest inflows ever, and new user growth is rapidly trending higher. People are just using hyperliquid, and they put the TWAP on hype, and so market's addicted to beta. Where do you think liquidity is going to flow next?
Well, as hype holders continue to get wealthy from the token, they're going to bid PER for beta.
Yeah, 100%.
The volume and liquidity on it is great too.
Yep. And the thing is you have zero dilution in the hyperliquid ecosystem right now. So, if there is anything that is just set to gigascend, it is, PER is just primed for higher.
I think it's a $1 billion meme.
Send it, Tommy. Pump my bags. Hashtag my bags.
But I am, I have a natural affinity towards cat coins. This is known.
The cat whisperer.
Does everybody on the team own a cat? Louis, do you have a cat? No.
I have a cat.
I know Jack secretly has like 50 cats in his barn out back.
Who?
Jack secretly has 50 cats in his barn out back, and he goes out there with a box of kibbles.
I prefer not to speak.
How does PER look against hype? Has anybody
fantastic?
Really?
Yes, it's breaking out of descending trend line. Looks really, really good.
What's the best? Just try Mexi, I guess. So this is PER against hype. Looks all right. I don't know.
Double booty bottom right there.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it come back to retest those wicks, but no, I really think you are going to see hyperliquid break out first, PER perform with it, and then probably pull back harder than hype, and then, in the same way that like Bitcoin will react with altcoins, you get the Bitcoin move, altcoins will follow. And then when Bitcoin gives that pullback and then they begin to move a little bit more in unison, that capital rotates out of the alpha back into the beta.
It's kind of giving me these vibes right here.
I like that.
Kind of giving me this feel, give or take. It's not perfect, but I like this little whoop. Yeah, PER against hype. If hype pumps, it's kind of I feel like it's a, Tommy said layup. I agree with that. It's like, why would it not? So. All right. Well, I think that probably takes us into the end of the show. Tommy, you want to take us out, brother?
Yes. With a commercial or just the standard outro?
I say just yap away, man. I'll show them some terminal. We got the codes up on the bottom. I haven't checked how many are left. Jack has tweeted it out, but would love to get some signups, man. And it's a big day. I'm back. Slight body modification, but I'm back in a big way. And I'm feeling generous, and the market looks really good. So, Tommy, take us away. And guys, check out the code below, and I'll take you on a little tour of the terminal. So go ahead.
All right, guys. Well, we hope that you enjoyed the show. It was our first day back this week. Obviously, lots of things going on, not just in the market, but also on the panel. We will see what we get from things like Bitcoin, ETH, and everything in between here over the next few days and the next few weeks before we can officially let you go. Just wanted to talk about, I just wanted to yap a little bit about some of the things that we offer here at BB, specifically designed to help you guys crush these markets. And that starts with the BB terminal, which Max has up on the screen. We've got codes for you to be able to check that out. Discounted, of course, and the portfolio tracking is also free, guys. I mean, this is your go-to tool of the cycle, and that is applicable whether or not you are an active trader, a long-term investor, or an on-chain degen. I mean, we have tools and utility for all different types of market participants. So make sure to check it out. I promise you will not be disappointed. And we're going to continue to build out more and more functionality as time goes on. So what you see from the terminal right now is it's an exceptional product, and it's going to get even better. So check that out. Of course, we have also packaged this together with our premium Discord. So if you are looking for a discounted price on either one of those products, you have the option out to be able to access both through our Discord. You get hours of daily calls from the team, our live thoughts on the market, and at times even our positioning. But we also have the BB Academy. So if you're looking to learn from the team in a bit more of an intimate setting, we have, like I said, the optionality for you to be able to do that as well. And lastly, but certainly not least, we have BB Wealth Management. So if you're interested in having the team manage capital for you, just reach out to us via email. All of this should be linked in the description below. And a reminder that we trade digital assets in this fund in a way that looks to capture their asymmetric history for upside returns while balancing the downside risk posed in all financial markets. So yeah, check out the description below, guys. Everything that I just mentioned will be linked there. But we hope that you enjoyed Market Check today. We'll be back for another episode tomorrow. Same time as always, that is around 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And finish your day with Market Talk, hosted by King Wabi, which is an X Spaces hosted through our Because Bitcoin account as well as Wabi's account. So make sure to stay following and subscribe to both of those so you can be notified not just when we schedule them, but also when we go live. That's it from us, though, guys. We hope that you enjoyed the show. We'll be back, like I said, for another episode tomorrow. But until then, thank you again, as always, for tuning in. And of course, stay safe.